Hi, good morning, students. So, students, we're going to begin our class with a science lesson. And this science lesson can be accessed right here on our whiteboard. You can click here. And just so you can remember that later on, when you're doing your homework on your own time, you'll come over here to the computer that says science in blue. You'll click on that, okay? So, for right now, let's click on our science lesson and let's begin. Now, students, you're all first graders. And first graders get to learn about a really cool and fun topic about the Earth and how its place in the universe affects what you see when you're on the Earth. Now, students, I'm going to ask you to do something pretty cool. You'll look out your window in a second and you're going to tell me what you observe or what do you see. Now, with this standard that we're going to be covering, we're going to use observations or use what you see of the sun, moon, and stars to describe patterns that can be predicted or patterns that you know will happen. Now, if I say square, circle, is that a pattern? That's right, it is. Why? Well, there's a square, a circle, a square, and a circle. It repeats more than once. It repeats two times. There's two circles and then two squares. So that's a pattern. Now, if I drew that for you and you could see it, that's observable. Now, students, just like our other standards for math and English language arts that we have been doing earlier this week, we're going to incorporate two of those standards. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to have more work, so don't worry. What it means is that you're going to be using some strategies that you used in math and strategies that you use in English to help you with this science problem. Well, how so? Well, you're going to construct or build an argument and critique the reasoning of others. Well, let's break that down. What it means is we're going to solve the problem and you're going to tell how you solved it to your classmates and why your answer is the right answer. And now for English, you're going to read, write, and speak grounded in evidence, meaning that what you're talking about is the truth. Now, students, you're going to be using digital material. What does that mean? Well, digital is electronic. You're on your computers right now. We're on a Zoom call and you're doing your Google Classroom, your lesson for today for science, and we're going to be going on the internet and looking up some awesome pictures of the Earth, the sun, the moon, the stars, or outer space. And they're going to be pretty cool. And they're going to help you see observable patterns that you can see that are in outer space. And you're going to be communicating with each other, which is very important. Now, students, we have two goals in mind that we always want to remember during this lesson. You want to describe how what you observe or what you see translates to an observable pattern, meaning describe or tell us what you see is a pattern that is observable and repeats itself. And you're also going to understand the day and night cycle based on the pattern of the sun and moon. Well, what does that mean? Well, you're going to be understand that during the daytime, the sun is in the sky, and at night, the moon shines brightly in the sky. But I want you to start thinking about a question that will make you wonder. If at night you only see the moon in the sky, you don't see the sun, then why is it that during the daytime you can see the sun, but don't look directly at it? You know the sun's in the sky because it's bright, everything's bright outside, but you can also see the moon. If you look very carefully, you can see the moon in outer space. At the same time, the sun is in the space. Yes, the sun is in the sky. How does that work? I want you to think about that, okay? Now, students, our vocabulary word for our lesson here is orbit. Now, that means to travel in circles, one complete revolution. Now, look here. A revolution means going around. In this picture here, we see the moon And there's several of them, but it's showing the moon where it can be at different times. Now, this moon is going around in a circle. And when it gets from this side all the way around back here, it completes one revolution. Or from one nighttime to another nighttime, possibly. Now, students, let's get a white piece of paper, and we're going to have our 3 crayons, gray, blue, and yellow. And we're going to draw a big earth in the center, a blue earth. Let's draw blue earth. Good job, students. Now take your time with that. Once you're done, you'll get your gray and you'll draw the moon. Good job, students. After several minutes has passed by, you'll get your yellow and you'll shade in the yellow on the side. And then, students, at the end, take your blue, make a circle going through the moon around the earth, and draw arrows that'll tell us which way this pattern is orbiting around the earth. The moon is orbiting around the earth in a pattern. And over here is the sunlight. So if the sunlight's right here, that means they're on this part of earth is daytime. But over here where it's moon, the moon is shining and the sun isn't over here, this is nighttime. Now, students, keep working on that. All right, good job, students. So we had several minutes to complete that task. Now we're going to have a quick pop quiz. But don't worry, you're going to be able to use your knowledge of the lesson so far to pick the answer that you best understand. Or possibly challenge yourself and pick the question that might seem a little challenging, but try your best. And use what you've learned thus far to help you. Now, students, you're going to do question 1 or question 2, part 1 or part 2. Now, if you do draw a picture of the nighttime on Earth with the moon in the sky, or draw a picture of daytime on Earth with the sun in the sky, how can we possibly draw that? Well, students, come over here, go onto Google and type in the moon orbiting Earth, and you get all these cool pictures. Now, take about 2 minutes, 3 minutes, look at these pictures, get an idea of what you can draw. See, there's so many ideas, so many ways to draw these patterns. The moon can be on the right, the left. So students, just take your time and look at these. All right, students, let's come back to our pop quiz now. Now that you've used that time to get an idea to observe the observable pattern, take your pick and draw one of these to represent pop quiz number 1 or 2, part A or part B, okay? And students, once you're done, I want you to look up here at the board. We'll still have this slide up here in formal assessment if you want to look at it, but also there'll be these higher order thinking questions. Now, we already had one of them discussed. I want you to think about the other 2, okay? And once you're done, I want you to think by yourself. Once everyone's done, we'll discuss number 1, 2, and 3 as a class. So let's begin our pop quiz. We have 10 minutes to do this, and then we'll do our higher order thinking questions.